Okay, so for this one, it says, find the minimum or maximum value of f of x equals negative x squared plus 4x plus 5. Then graph the function. Okay, so what we have to do here is we have to find, so what this means is we want to find, so according to this, we have this function here. We already know, or if you don't remember how a quadratic looks, it either looks like this when a is less than 0, or it looks like this when a is greater than 0. According to this, our a equals -1, so we're obviously going to have a concave down parabola. For this one, what you have to do is you have to find your vertex, okay? So our vertex is, again, negative b over 2a. This is a, this is b, this is c. So a equals -1, b equals 4, and c equals 5. And according to this, we have negative b over 2a, so then it would be negative 4 divided by 2 times -1. That would give us -4 over -2. The negatives cancel out. We get 2. So then we have to do, to find our vertex, or sorry, this is our axis of symmetry. My bad. Our vertex is HK, and the axis of symmetry is x equals h. So the axis of symmetry is x equals 2, okay? So then you want to go ahead and first draw your, or if you already have one, if you already have a graph, then you can just skip this part. But I'm going to draw my graph here. So here I have, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then, and it's all the way up to 5, so give me 1 second, guys, hold on. So this is going to be up to 5. I'll make it up to 6. So then we have that part, and then just go ahead and so then we have here, we have -1, -2, -3, oops, -4, -5, -6, and then here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then here we have -1, -2, -4, -5, and then finally, -6. Okay, so basically you have to graph your function, okay? so obviously here, I'm just drawing my graph ahead of time. So, you have your axis of symmetry, which is 2, and then once you do that, you want to go ahead and plug that in for your x value. So then it would be a negative the quantity 2 squared minus 4 times 2 minus, or sorry, plus 4 times 2 plus 5. Okay. So then this would be negative the quantity 4 plus 8 plus 5. So then it would be 4 plus 5, and that would be 9. Okay. And give me 1 second. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be more than, sorry. Give me 1 second, you guys. So, I'm gonna try to make this graph again. So, if I go ahead and I'll just try to make as big of a graph as I can. And then, and like I said, you can skip over this part because obviously, you know, drawing graphs for me is kind of, it takes me a while. So here we can say that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then this one is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. And then this left side will be negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10. And then this one will be, this side will be negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10. Okay, so once you have your graph, you know, since I had to draw my graph, sorry about that, guys. Let me just try to take this part out. So basically, you have to find your, so once you find your vertex, this is your y term, so you have, so basically your vertex is going to be 2, 9, okay? So here will be our vertex, 2, 9. And so then we would basically draw our axis of symmetry. And obviously, we already kind of know that it's going to be, since it's a negative, since a is less than 1, or sorry, a is less than 0, it will be a downwards parabola, okay? So we're going to have when you have a is less than 0 and you have a downwards parabola, basically this will be your maximum value. Okay, so we already know we're going to have a maximum value. Now all we have to do is graph it. Okay, and if you don't know how to graph quadratics, you can always look at my previous video that I made. But we're going to do this one. So we want to find two values of x. According to, we can make a table of values if we really wanted to. So, when x equals, so basically, I'm only going to do it for 2, so 2 values, or 3, if I can. When x equals -1, what does y equal? So we're going to go ahead and plug in -1 for x. So our value, our function here is f of x equals negative x squared. Plus 4x plus 5, okay. Okay. And we want to know, what it would equal for -1, so it'd be negative the quantity, -1 squared, plus 4 times -1 plus 5. So then it would be negative the quantity 1 minus 4 plus 5. So then we would have -1 minus 4 plus 5. And this would be -5 plus 5, and this would be 0. So this one would be 0. And then for 0, obviously, if we plug 0 in, so if we do 0, for those of you that are not sure, 0 squared, -0 squared, plus 4 times 0 plus 5. This is just going to be 0 plus 0 plus 5, which is 0 plus 5, which is 5. So when x is equal to 0, y is 5, okay? And then, so our y-intercept is 5, basically. And it's going to be with -1, 0, so -1, 0 is also and then if we do -2, so if we do -2, we have f of -2 is equal to negative the quantity -2 squared plus 4 times -2 plus 5. So it's going to be -4 minus 8 plus 5. It's going to be -12 plus 5. So it's going to be -7, okay? So we're going to have, for -2, it's going to be -7, which is right here, okay? And, I mean, we would put it in the table of values. It would kind of be like -2, -7. And then again, what you want to do is, to save yourself time, you want to look at your reflection, your axis of symmetry, which is the line where your parabola reflects. This side is a reflection to the other side. So basically, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and do a reflection for each point. So we have this point here. It's going to go 1, 2. So this is 1, 2, okay? Give me a second. So then you're going to get 1, 2, which is, so it's going to be over here. And then over here, we have 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. So you're going to have another x-intercept right here. And then for over here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be your other point. Okay, so then your parabola is going to kind of look like this, if I can kind of draw it correctly. And sorry guys, I'm not really good at drawing parabolas on here, just because for me it's always been really difficult to do it on OneNote. Okay, so this is kind of how it's gonna look, like this, okay? And according to this, that means that our maximum value is going to be up here. This is going to be our maximum value. And here, it's at 2, 9, okay? So that's going to be the maximum value. So therefore, f of x has a maximum value at 2, 9. So that's how you do this one.